Okay, so I have been using the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the 16 Pro for about a few months now, and I wanted to do a comparison video between the Pro Max and the Pro early in January. But it's gotten a bit longer, and that's because I was traveling through Bali and Melbourne for some time, and I was like, oh, this could be a great opportunity to actually put both these phones and their cameras to real life test. We'll look at how it is to use it in everyday life, and if it is for you or not. Hopefully this will help you make that decision. Looking at any 16 Pro or 16 Pro Max, they are not very different looking than the 15 models. However, there are a few changes that Apple has made in the 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max, or the 16 series in general. Two of those significant changes have been that now the bezels are much thinner on the 16 series compared to the 15 series, which means you get a lot more screen size. And when you're actually using it, it almost feels like the whole screen is edge to edge. It feels like a borderless phone, which it's not truly a borderless phone. There's still some bezel, but it's much thinner. You can actually see the difference between 15 and 16. The other difference is very popularly talked about is the camera control button. Now we'll get to the camera control button because I have a bit of mixed thoughts about it. Like, is it really that usable or not? We'll talk about it once we get to that. However, there's one significant difference that I noticed between the 16 Pro Max and 16 Pro camera. Now, do not quote me on that, because if you look at the spec sheet on the Apple website, they both share exactly the same camera between the Pro Max and the Pro. However, when I was using it in real life, I noticed something, that there is a slight difference of temperature between the 16 Pro Max camera and the 16 Pro. Now, I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but there is a slight difference of temperature. One is a little bit cooler and another one is a little bit warmer. You only see that difference when you take exactly the same photo with a Pro Max and a Pro. Maybe it's a device fault between the two that I got, but there was a little bit of temperature difference between the Pro Max camera and the Pro. Now, speaking of the camera, I never thought that I'll be saying that, but throughout all these years I've been like, you can never replace your professional camera with an iPhone camera. You cannot do that because they're like tiny sensors and compared to a professional camera. But after getting a 16 Pro Max and the 16 Pro, I noticed that they have really upgraded the cameras in these phones. Like, the camera for 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max are really far more superior than any other phone camera I've used in the past. A really good test to see how good or not good a phone camera is, it's not in the phone, but when you transfer your photograph to a computer and when you're looking at it on a larger screen, you can really see all the flaws that a phone camera can produce. You can see the noise, the pixelation, and all those kind of things. But I have to admit that the quality of images that came out of both 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max is so much better. Like, even if you're looking at it on a computer screen, when we talk about the cameras, we've got 48 megapixel on the ultra wide lens. 48 megapixel is quite a lot, to be honest, in terms of the resolution. On a 5x zoom, you are getting 2.8 aperture, which is pretty impressive. You can do really nice portraits with 2.8 aperture on a 5x zoom. It's almost like using a telephoto lens on a professional camera. When you're on 2x zoom, you're getting about 1.8 aperture, 1.78 as the Apple says, but it's 1.8 aperture approximately. So the zoom feature on these phones are actually usable, because a lot of times when I was using zoom feature on 2x, even on some other older phones, it's pretty useless because it pixelates the image. But when I'm using 5x or even 2x on one of these phones, the image is still usable. Also, the video quality on both 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max is pretty impressive. The slow motion is so smooth. So if you do record some videos, I think that 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max make a really good phone for recording videos as well. So here are some of the example photos that I've taken with 16 Pro Max and 16 Pro during my trip. And I have to say that I was pretty impressed by the image resolution and image quality, even when I transferred these photos on a larger monitor. By the way, if you like how I've color graded my photos, you can do it too for free, without any purchase, without any credit cards. It's completely free and you can do it with a single click. All you have to do is download my free Lightroom preset. The link is in the description. And once you have downloaded it, and install it into your Lightroom and color grade your photos exactly like that. Now let's talk about the controversial camera control button. I personally did not find it so useful. So what it really does is basically when you tap it, it opens your camera directly. And then you can zoom in, zoom out, or you can change your filters and so on using the camera control button. But here's the thing, I didn't really find it as useful because I have the camera set up on my screen over here anyway. So if I just press this, it just triggers my camera directly. So I don't really need to be doing like camera control, to be honest. It does give you a lot more options. You can swap between filters, you can zoom in, zoom out, but I can zoom in, zoom out even when I'm in my camera app. So far I have not found it very useful. Now let's quickly talk about the battery life. Apple says that you get 27 hours of video playback with the Pro and you get 33 hours of video playback with the Pro Max. Now, what is video playback? It makes no sense for a normal human being that how do you measure battery time in video playback time? Because video playback can be impacted by a lot of things. And it also depends on how many services are running in the background. Is your Wi-Fi connected? Is the data on? And so on and so forth. So it's really hard to kind of measure battery time. But I will say that using both these phones in real life, but actually I use Pro Max a lot more, and the battery does really feel improved. Like I can go on full day with a heavy use with my Pro Max, and the battery still holds up. The other thing is that you also get a fast charge, which means that you can get up to a 50% battery in around 30 minutes of charge. So it's pretty impressive and pretty good, because a lot of times when you're rushing out somewhere, especially in my case, sometimes I'm rushing out somewhere, I just have like 10 minutes and I want to get some charge on my battery. So that's a perfect scenario where you can use a fast charge as well. So overall, if you currently have a 15 or 15 Pro or 15 Pro Max, it's not really worth an upgrade, because you will get the camera control, but as I said, like it's not as useful, at least not to me. And I'm a photographer and I do use my phone a lot for photographs. It's not really that useful at the moment. But if you're having 14 or under, any models under 14, you'll definitely feel a big upgrade if you go from 14 or even from 13 to a 16 Pro or 16 Pro Max. Is definitely worth an upgrade in that sense, because you get better screen, you get better camera, you get better battery. By the way, if you are a photographer or a content creator who uses their phone a lot to create content or to take photographs, I have got something for you, and it's completely free to use. And that is that I'm working on an iPhone photography course, and that course will be live very soon. It's under progress. The link is in the description. But the beautiful thing of this moment is that you've got the early bird registration open right now. So if you go on the link in the description, you can register as an early bird subscriber and you get a flat 50% discount when the course is live. Right now you have to pay nothing, it's just completely free registration, and when the course goes live you'll get a flat 50% discount. I'll remove this 50% discount when the course is live, of course, but it's only for early bird registration. So make sure, if you are someone who uses your phone a lot and want to upskill in iPhone photography especially, make sure you go and register, and then you'll benefit from a lot of free products, free presets, and a flat 50% discount on a lot of courses. I hope that this video was helpful for you, and if it was, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and if you've got any questions, please make sure you ask in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer any questions that are related to the daily usage of both 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in another video.